Hi there, my name is Rebecca Pisciotta, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my interest in public health, where it got started, and what I hope to do with it. My parents are both doctors. My mom is a psychiatrist, and my dad is a physiatrist. And from a very young age, they instilled in me the belief that if you're born into privilege, you should use it to help other people. And coming from a very scientific family, I was always predisposed towards health and medicine as a track. And I was always interested in HIV and AIDS and the transmission of sexual diseases because, I would always look and say, what's the biggest problem? How can I help the most people with sort of the least amount of effort? And I came to the conclusion that HIV and AIDS prevention was that for me. I'm really good at talking to people. I'm really into teaching. I've been a substitute teacher and an after school teacher, and I love working with youth and I love educating them. And so HIV prevention turned out to be this track that arose for me. I worked at the AIDS Service Center, Lower Manhattan, for a while. I worked at Columbia University. I had a really inspiring experience there where I wrote a study that's being used in South Africa right now to teach doctors and nurses at a HIV and reproductive health clinic how to make their clinic more safe and inviting for women so that women feel more comfortable coming to get treatment and education. And that kind of led me more in this direction of how do we get health information to women and how do we make women feel comfortable asking for help. And I ended up becoming a sort of informal counselor for many girls when I returned to my college that year, who would come and they would tell me stories of rape, stories of sexual assault. They would come to ask me questions about sexual health and sexual practice, and it became very clear that a lot of women were having a problem with empowerment and asserting themselves in sexual relationships. And this seemed to be one of the roots of why women were getting assaulted, and one of the roots about why these women were having so much unprotected sex, because they didn't feel comfortable or empowered to assert their sexual decisions for themselves in a relationship. And so I guess my interest evolved over time to be more specifically about women's health and women's rights, and how do we empower women to feel safe and enact health decisions for themselves. And right now, that's what I'm working on and where I hope to go with my public health interests. Thank you for listening.